lovely to be here today. It's such a privilege. I'm absolutely blown away by the discussions we've had so far. So many interesting points of view. And I'm representing civil society in international development. So, as you heard, my name is Rebecca Williams. I'm the Director of People and Culture for CGIAR, which is a bit of a mouthful. What it stands for is the Consultative Group on International Agricultural Research. And so, for the benefit of this short speech, I'm going to refer to it as CG because it's a little bit easier to say. Our focus, our mission, is very much to deliver science and innovation that advances the transformation of land, food, and water systems in a climate crisis. And the topic of my speech today is very much around gender equality in food and nutrition security. I'm honoured to be representing our Executive Managing Director, Dr. Ismahan Elouafi. She sends her warm regards. She would have loved to have been here. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to attend. But she is a true champion for gender equality, and I know that this topic is close to her heart. Personally, before I dive into it, it's an absolute joy to be back here in Edinburgh. I lived here for 4 years at the start of my career. My mum is Scottish. I was actually here in 1997 when the Scottish Parliament was just being born, and it was a very exciting time. So it's really a very special place for me and holds very dear memories. So let's crack on. And I'm afraid it's a rather bleak picture. We're in the midst of a global food crisis. According to the 2025 Global Report on Food Crises, right now, 295 million people across 53 countries are suffering from acute hunger. A situation so severe, it threatens not just livelihoods, but lives. And that's not all. This year's State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World, which is a flagship report produced by the FAO every year, shows that 673.2 million people are chronically undernourished, trapped in a daily struggle without enough food to fuel a healthy life. And behind each number, think about it, there is a child missing school, there are parents going hungry so that their children can eat, and there are communities that are being robbed of their future. And at the same time, our planet is burning. We know that agriculture is a major contributor to climate change, producing almost a quarter of global greenhouse gas emissions. But climate change is also hammering agricultural productivity, a 21% drop over the last 60 years, while pushing millions closer to hunger. If global temperatures rise by 2 degrees, another 189 million people will go hungry. And at 4 degrees, 1.8 billion people will be unable to feed themselves. That's not a distant risk. It's a rapidly approaching reality. But the good news is we're not powerless. As the world's largest publicly funded agricultural research network, CG is uniquely positioned to address these pressing issues. We have more than 10,000 scientists working in over 100 countries around the world in a network of research centres to create a food-secure future for all. And for over 50 years, CG has harnessed the power of science, innovation, and partnerships to tackle the world's biggest challenges. Our work has saved lives. Modern crop innovations developed through CG have reduced infant mortality across the developing world by a third. That's up to 6 million infant lives saved every year. Today, we're helping smallholder farmers who produce a third of our food adapt to climate change, build resilience, reduce emissions, and grow more nutritious crops. From AI-powered apps diagnosing plant diseases to nutrient-rich crops like biofortified sweet potatoes and flood-resistant rice. Our innovations are changing lives. But if we're serious about ending hunger, we must confront a deeply embedded truth. We will never achieve food security without gender equality. Women experience higher rates of food insecurity and malnutrition than men due to systemic inequalities in access to resources, employment, and decision-making power. And although women produce a large proportion of the world's food, they often have less access to land, credit, and training, increasing their vulnerability to food crises. In fact, 150 million more women than men are food insecure today. Let that sink in. That means while women are feeding the world, they themselves are going hungry. According to the 2025 SDG report, in 80% of countries with data, fewer than half of women have secure rights to agricultural land. Now, this isn't just unfair, it's a structural barrier holding back the transformation of our global food systems. There's clear evidence that women are more likely to adopt climate-smart agricultural practices on the farm when given opportunity and decision-making power. And when women earn more, household health, child survival, and farm productivity all go up. So this is not just a moral imperative, it's smart economics. However, for many women around the world, it's very challenging. Inequalities in food systems make it hard for them to engage. Not only do women have less access to resources, services, information, and opportunities than their male counterparts, they are often deep-rooted social and cultural norms which prevent the benefits of climate-smart innovations from being shared. Our work addresses the reality that in food systems, women are more negatively impacted by climate risks than men because they're more dependent on agriculture and less able to adapt, putting more women and girls at risk of poverty and food insecurity. So simply put, if we don't address the root causes, we can't address the unique needs of women and create sustainability in our food systems. Women can be powerful agents of change when they're empowered with access to resources and to information. For example, a focused effort to improve women's education led to a 43% reduction in child malnutrition between 1970 and 1995. And working with our funding partners, CG prioritizes interventions designed to enable equal access to innovations and capacity development, as well as financial, informational, and legal services for women to enable them to shape the future of food systems. So let me bring this a bit to life, because that's all, well and good, but there are some practical examples. I have a powerful story from West Bengal in India. In the south and north 24 Parganas districts, 175 women livestock farmers from marginalized, scheduled, caste, and tribal communities are breaking barriers. Now, these women are from communities which are the lowest caste in Indian society and some of the most disadvantaged socioeconomic groups in India. With CG's support, they're participating in learning initiatives to build skills, challenge social norms, and adapt to climate change. The initiative is piloting approaches to develop solutions that integrate social and technological innovations to enhance climate resilience and promote gender equity in the agri-food systems. The innovations have been co-designed with the women farmers and have increased their knowledge, skills, and their confidence in managing their livestock. They're now able to vaccinate their animals themselves And in time, this will help to alleviate their major challenge of low productivity and mortality of livestock due to disease. But beyond equipping them with technological know-how and technical skills, the project has also enhanced their social capabilities. The women now participate in meetings confidently. They use mobile phones to communicate, and they collaborate to to market their produce collectively. But the most powerful transformation is their sense of self. Women were encouraged to reflect on the initiative and to write down their insights and learning from this initiative. And poignantly, one woman shared this: "Writing makes me feel heard." Think about that. For the first time, her voice mattered. Someone was listening. And that's what empowerment looks like. It's not just about tools and training. It's about dignity, agency, and voice. The stakes couldn't be higher. The world is at a tipping point. Food systems are failing under the pressure of climate change, inequality, and conflict. But science gives us a roadmap forward. We can breed crops that withstand floods and droughts. We can equip farmers with tools to thrive and not just survive. And we can create systems where women are not just afterthoughts, but architects of change. For every $1 invested in agricultural research and development, we see a $10 return, not just in economic value, but in lives saved, ecosystems protected, and futures rebuilt. So in closing, I leave you with these reflections. If we want systemic change, we must listen to women, invest in women, and most importantly, stand with women. No food system is sustainable unless it is inclusive. And no future is secure unless it is equal. We need to raise up those voices and ensure that when a woman says, "Writing makes me feel heard," we not only hear her, but we act. Thank you very much.